What the fuck is up? It is your host, Erica Nalen, and welcome back to another episode of the Hangover series. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the motherfucking Hangover series. I am so happy you are here. If you're watching this video, footage, content later that I post, and you're like, where the fuck are you? Whose bed are you in? Whose dog is that? Those are really solid questions. No, I did not get a new bed. No, this is not my bedroom. And no, this is not my adorable artwork on the wall. I'm currently in my friend's bedroom in her bed recording because I am dog sitting this adorable little dog that is in front of me. He is one of the softest dogs that I've ever pet before. And I would love to know what shampoo he's using because I want my hair to feel as soft as he does, okay? What I've learned about this dog is he is not like the rest, okay? He is a unique kind of dog. I learned very quickly that he's either like scared of a leash or hates going on walks, hates the outdoors, hates something about this leash and something about being in the outdoors, which I thought was kind of funny because I feel like normally dogs are like obsessed with walking and being outside, but yesterday I grabbed his leash to go on a walk because I got here at like 4 p.m. So I was like, he probably has to pee his fucking pants. So I grab his leash to take him outside and he is like sprinting away from me. He's hiding under beds. He's hiding under the couch. He's doing like random activities to get away from this leash. And I'm like, what the fuck? I feel like you have to piss your pants. So I was super confused. So I let him just hide for a bit. And I was like, okay, well, I guess if he has to piss his pants, like he'll come let me know, or he'll let me put the leash on. And then eventually, like 45 minutes later, he let me put the leash on him. And then I went to take him out again before I went to bed last night. And the same thing happened. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why does this dog hate leashes and hate going outside? Like, what the fuck is happening? I texted my friends and they were like, you have to give him a piece of food. He does this every time. Like, you got to feed him a little snack, a little treat, and he will put that leash on. So that's what we've been doing today. And it's been working. And I'm curious if he hides because he is demanding a treat and he knows he'll get a little snack if he runs and hides, or if he genuinely hates going outside. Because also when we've been going on these walks, we'll walk like 4 houses down, he'll smell some shit, and then he looks at me and he just like stops walking and sits down if I want to keep going, and then we'll turn around and walk back, and then like 4 more houses down, and then he does the same thing again. So I think this dog hates being outside, and I think he hates leashes, and I also learned that he hates other dogs and other people. He was barking crazy at these little children earlier. There were like 5 children and you were barking at them and you were scaring them. And I don't know why you did that. I don't know why you hate kids, but he hates leashes, he hates walking, and he apparently hates children. That's what I've learned about this dog. And he has really smelly farts. I like woke up in the middle of the night last night to his ass in my face and a fart. So thank you for that. But I am dog sitting, as I think I mentioned, as I think you would be fully aware of by this point, but I'm dog sitting this little adorable dog. His name is Yeti, and he has a hot dog in his mouth right now. So yeah, but my friend is definitely going to see this and be like, bitch, what the fuck? Are you in my bed? Are you just exposing my bedroom to everybody? And the answer is yes. Yes, I am, because I didn't have time to record the podcast at all this week until today, and her bed is very adorable. I was like looking around all day as I was working and just walking around, and I was like, where would be a perfect place to record? And I was thinking the fireplace, but then I was like, I don't really want to sit on the floor. And then I was looking at her bed and I was like, wait, this is perfect. Like, this is literally perfect. She has whiskey, Prosecco, and gin pictures above her bed, and I feel like I need these in my apartment. So definitely going to be asking her where she got these. But people have been saying that my voice sounds like I'm sick, and I actually don't know what is going on. Sometimes this happens to me like early in the morning. I like can't speak as well for some reason. And I feel like it's just been happening all week this week, and I don't know why. I think I'm just tired and exhausted, and sometimes talking is a lot of work, okay? I had to have a Celsius today, and I haven't had one of those in like forever. Like, I think I've only had one or two of them in my life, but I slept really weird last night. One, because I woke up to this dog farting in my face, and two, I just like sleep weird at other people's houses. Like, I can't even have sleepovers these days because, well, I'm 24 years old, but also because I just get the worst sleep. Like, I feel like I wake up every 2 hours, and I don't know. My sleep was just all over the place, but whatever. But this past weekend, my sister and my mom came to visit me in Chicago, and we had so much fun. This was probably one of my favorite weekends that I've had in so long. Honestly, it might be one of the best weekends I've had my whole life. It was so much fun. Like, I was so sad earlier today. They left yesterday, and I was so sad when I woke up this morning and like wasn't with them to hang out and do activities. We did like so many fun activities, but we also did really chill activities. And it was all just so much fun, and I miss them so much, and they are just like my two best friends, and I wish they lived here so we could do fun activities every weekend, but this weekend was just so much fun with them, and I thought we would recap it, go through it, and talk about it. So yeah, let's get into it. So I think I've told you guys this before, but I thought this was really funny because my family and I haven't been together in a while. Apparently, I hadn't seen my sister in 9 months, and I didn't even realize that because, I mean, I talk to my family every single day. I feel like almost every second of every single day, like I am texting my mom or my sister, like I'm in constant communication with them. So I didn't even realize that I hadn't seen my sister in 9 freaking months, but I guess I haven't seen her since last Christmas, which is bizarre. I was supposed to see her when I was back in Nebraska in June, but she was like on a trip or something, so we weren't back home at the same time. But yeah, hadn't seen my sister in 9 months, so that's crazy, but it was really good to see both of them and hang out with them. But I thought the funniest part about this trip was that I think the last family vacation we went on was maybe like a year or two ago. I'm not really sure. I'm like trying to remember, but I don't know what year this was, but we went to Yellowstone, which was beautiful and gorgeous and perfect. And I've definitely told you guys that when we've gone on family vacations, like ever since I was growing up, basically, nobody ever wants to share a bed with me because I have a history of kicking people in my sleep, stealing all the blankets, like just doing wild shit in my sleep that I'm like fully not aware of. Or like my mom describes me as just like taking up the whole bed. Like she's like, your legs and your arms are just like everywhere, and you don't know how to share a bed with people. And I don't even think I do that on purpose, like genuinely. I mean, maybe stealing the blankets, that could be on purpose, but like I really just need to be wrapped up like a baby or I'm not going to sleep well. So my family has always given me kind of my own bed in hotel rooms, and I didn't realize that was happening again. And I feel like in the past when we've got into hotel rooms, like we go over who's sharing beds, like we're like, who wants to share beds, or I don't know. I feel like we always have that conversation for some reason, maybe as like a joke, but this time I was like, you know what, maybe my mom will get her own bed and me and my sister will share a bed, even though I feel like my sister and I would fight if we shared a bed, sister things. But I laid in one of the beds and my sister comes out of the bathroom and she's like, get the fuck off my pillow. Why is your nasty ass head on my pillow? And I was like, wait, we haven't even gone over who's sharing beds. Like, what? And my family was like, oh, like your bed is that bed. You can have the one near the window. That's your bed. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So maybe it's just a known thing now that I get my own bed because nobody wants to share a bed with me. Okay. Like, honestly, I'll take it. Like, who doesn't want their own bed? I want my own bed. I want my own bed. And I feel like the covers that they give you at hotels are always kind of thin and skeptical. Like, do they wash comforters? I've been told that they don't wash comforters at hotel rooms, but I think that was when they used to have like the really thick comforters, but that also could have been a lie. I've been noticing recently, like things that I say, for example, like that hotels don't wash comforters. I feel like I have so many random facts like that. And sometimes I share them with people and they look at me like I'm clinically insane and they're like, that is not true. And I'm like, no, it is. No, it is. Look it up. Sometimes they're true. And sometimes people are like, you definitely either pulled that out of your ass or someone was lying to you. So I have no idea if they wash comforters at hotels, but I'm pretty sure they would wash these ones because they're pretty thin. But like, if any of you have ever worked at a hotel or you know this information, do they wash the really thick comforters at hotels? Or did they just stop giving those out? Or do they only wash them at really fancy hotels? Like, I don't know where I was going with that, but I got my own bed and I got my own comforter and I slept pretty well, but I feel like I was also sleeping weird in a hotel because I personally have to listen to white noise. I feel like we've also gone over this, but like, I need white noise on, okay? Like, I'm not going to bed if there's not white noise playing. I have a set playlist that I listen to every single night. I've been listening to it for like probably 3 or 4 years now. I don't even know what got me into the cycle and the routine of like listening to white noise, but I'm obsessed with white noise. I have to listen to it to go to bed. Like, honestly, I've tried sleeping in a quiet room. In the past like few weeks, I've tried sleeping in a quiet, silent room and it made me really uncomfortable. Like, it made me uncomfortable. I did not like it. I didn't like that you can just hear the noises that like the apartment in your house makes. Like, it's just weird to me. And I need the white noise. And I know that so many people are like against white noise or they hate it. And my family, I think, is one of them because there was a sound machine and I turned it up to like full volume when we were going to bed and my family's like, turn that shit down. I'm like, what? Who the fuck is against this shit? But I also remember in like high school, I think someone I was friends with was obsessed with like having their fan going really intensely because they liked the noise of it. And I'm pretty sure back then I like hated the noise of fans or something. So it's definitely something I acquired, but I love good white noise, okay? I love it. I love it. But another thing that my family pointed out this weekend that I thought was funny was they said prior to coming, they discussed something that I do. And this is like a great way to describe me, I feel like. They said I'll be in like such a jolly, happy mood and then I'll like put my pajamas on, I'll wash my face, I get ready for bed. I'll be happy for like however long and then all of a sudden I like snap out of nowhere and I decide it's bedtime and I'm like, I'm going to bed, I'm tired right now and everyone needs to shut the fuck up. And yeah, I don't know where that comes from, but I feel like I've been like that my whole life. I don't know what happens, but I feel like mentally in my brain, like I have energy and then I'm like, I have 10 more minutes of happiness and energy, and then I need to rest my eyes immediately, and it comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, I'm freaking tired, and I'll be laying in bed, and I'll be thinking that everyone's fully aware that we should go to bed, and then no one's aware that we should be going to bed, and then someone talks or like laughs or makes an annoying sound, and I'm like, everybody shut the fuck up, and I get really mean. So if you're ever having a sleepover with me, just be aware of that. But I'm pretty sure my friends are aware of that. People I've dated are definitely aware of that. I don't know. I have so many memories of people like trying to wake me up because it also happens when I wake up. Like, I don't fuck with being woken up, especially in a rude way. I remember when people used to wake their children up for school by like splashing water on them or putting ice on them or something, and I cannot believe the consequences someone would have faced if they ever did that to me. Genuinely, if someone ever woke me up with ice or like splashing water on me, we would fight. I would physically fight them. Or I would do something very evil. Or I would prank them for like years. I would literally prank them for years. But since my family was coming this weekend, I planned us a whole excursion, a whole weekend full of good food, good vibes, tours, all the things, because I love to plan. It's one of my favorite things. I love having visitors and like planning a whole weekend for us because that's just the fucking vibe. And I love when I visit people and they have a plan. Like if you're going to visit someone and then you show up and they're like, so what do you want to do? I'm like, bitch, what do I want to do? Fucking plan shit for me. So I'm big on planning, love to plan, love to have a schedule, love to have a routine of what we're doing. And that's what I did. So the first thing that we did this weekend was the architecture tour of Chicago, which basically is you get on a large boat and you get on the river and you do like an hour and a half tour where the tour guide is talking about the buildings and the history of Chicago and all the fun stuff that you never knew, but you kind of just think about. Like I feel like sometimes I pass buildings and I'm like, what is that building? What is its story? Who is on top of it? Like there's statues on some of these buildings. And I'm like, who is that? You know, stuff like that you think about when you pass the buildings, but you never look it up or think about it again. So it was very interesting to learn and see. And they had mimosas on the boat. If anyone was curious, not that you need a mimosa on the boat, but a mimosa sounded so good when we got on there. I was like, fuck yeah, give me a mimosa. And yeah, it was a really good time. One thing that stuck with me that I thought I would share about the history of Chicago is the tour guide was saying that some of the townhomes here in Chicago and some of the houses, you notice that their front door is underground, like kind of where you would think a basement is. Their front door is in the basement or the underground. And he said he'll always point it out to his friends because they're always like, wait, why is the front door like down there? Why is there a door down there? And he said that it's because I don't know what age or what year this was, but back then when these homes were built, the surface level of Chicago was that low. So it was where these doors are. And, you know, obviously it's much higher now because I think I've seen some of these houses that he's talking about. Maybe I haven't, and maybe I was just imagining things, but I feel like I have, and kind of sick to think about. So he said he always points it out to his friends when he sees it, but it's just very interesting to think about how the front door is like in the basement, and that's where the level of ground used to be at, and now it's like obviously so much higher. So I don't really know how any of that shit works, like no clue how any of that works, but I thought that was an interesting fact. So if you ever come here and you see a front door and you're like, why is the front door down there, just know that it's because the ground used to be at that level, and that used to be the front door of the ground. The ground of the front door, the ground of the floor of the floor of the ground of the ground floor. Yeah, that used to be that. So thought that was cool, and a very interesting fun fact. I love like fun facts like that where you just know that you will remember it forever. And I feel like that's a fun fact that I'll remember forever. There's like fun facts from elementary school that someone told me when I was like 6 years old, and it never leaves my mind. Like the comforter fun fact. And that one might not even be true, but this one is true. Also, I thought it was interesting to like see a tour guide on a boat because a couple of my friends always tell me that they could see me doing that and being a tour guide, which I think is interesting because I genuinely could never see myself doing that at all. But I think I have like one or two friends that have sent me multiple videos and they're like, that is so you. You would so be a tour guide on a boat, or you would so be a tour guide like walking people around the city, which, yeah, I don't know where they get that vibe from. I don't think I would be able to know that much information and like be able to repeat that history that much to people and that many fun facts. I feel like I would just talk about myself the whole time and be like, so I got cheated on when I was 16 years old. I got broken up with at that doorstop. Like, I feel like that would be the tour I would be giving, and I don't know how many people that would draw in. So, something else that we did this weekend that has been recommended to me by not one, but two people is watching the movie Demon Hunters, which is on Netflix. It is a K-pop children's movie, and it's basically about like these singers. I don't really know how to describe it or honestly give you any information on it, but one of my best friends had recommended that I watch it, and I tried watching it the other day, but I just couldn't get into it because I was watching it by myself. I feel like that happens to me with a lot of movies and TV shows sometimes. Like, I have to be hooked right away, or I get really distracted, or I start like watching TikTok, or God knows what I'm doing, but I start doing literally anything but watching the movie. And my sister watched it and said she cried. The friend that recommended it to me also said she cried when she watched it. So I was like, okay, this movie has to have like some deeper meaning behind it. Like, if they're crying, I feel like I would cry. I cry over like anything, especially movies. Movies really get to me. So my mom and I watched it. My sister like barely watched it because she had already seen it. But we watched Demon Hunters, and I honestly didn't really pay that much attention the whole time it was happening or playing. And I feel like I didn't really know what was going on like the whole time, but the last 10 minutes of it, I was locked in. I was crying. Definitely recommend it now if you want a good cry. Like, the ending was so good, and I don't even think I really knew what was happening the whole movie, but like the words that they were saying, the emotions these characters were showing, whatever was happening, like the way they were portraying the characters, I don't know. It really got to me, and I was like so focused on Demon Hunters. Like, I was like just really engraved in the show or movie, and I was crying. Like, I was actually crying. I was like nervously playing with my hair. Like, the emotions really came out. So honestly, maybe read. No, well, you should watch the movie, but I was gonna say maybe like read what happens and then fast forward to the last 15 minutes and watch it. But that might ruin the whole thing. So honestly, just watch the whole thing and then like tell me if you cried during the last 15 minutes, because I was crying and it was good. I feel like I had a lot of good laughs this weekend as well. And like, one of my favorite kinds of moments in life is when you are with people that make you laugh so hard that you are like crying. And I feel like I remember every single moment in my life where I am laughing so hard that I'm crying, because I just have like some of the funniest moments where someone like made a joke or something was so funny that I'm like crying of laughter. And I'm pretty sure the first time this ever happened to me, where I laughed so hard that I was crying, was in Spanish class in middle school, because that was the first time I had ever experienced laughing so hard that I was crying. I'm pretty sure one of my friends in middle school said something like hilarious, and I was laughing so hard that I was like crying so much. Like, not like, you guys know what I'm saying, but I just remember that moment and being like, wow, I did not know you could laugh so hard that you could cry. And this weekend, I think I was laughing so hard that I was crying with my family so much that I'm like, wow, my family's funny as fuck. And my mom and I also watched scary movies while she was here before bed every night, because I personally haven't watched a scary movie since like high school, because they scare me so fucking much. And every time I watch a scary movie, I cannot sleep. And I think about it forever, and I'm just so spooked by it. Like, it doesn't matter if it's so fake and like not real at all. I can't watch it without getting fucking scared. So I haven't watched a movie in forever. I'm pretty sure the last scary thing I watched was, what is that show called? With Lady Gaga. American Horror Story. That was the last scary thing I watched. And I'm pretty sure I started watching the one with Emma in it, and I couldn't even finish it because I was getting so scared, because she kept going in like the basement or something, and I was like, wait, my house has a basement. Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm going to be scared of basements. So I don't even think I finished that. But my mom and I watched 2 scary movies on Netflix. I have no clue what they were. One of them, I was like laughing at the end because I was like, what the fuck was this? But I don't know why. But my mom and I, after watching one of them, we kept going like, like, and like making this weird noise and face. And I don't know why that sound and like the face and movement we were doing was so fucking funny to me that I was crying so hard in the moment. And then the next morning when we did it again, like I was peeing my pants. And my sister does not get the inside joke. I don't even think it is an inside joke. I don't know what it is, but if my mom ever does that again, like I'm gonna pee my pants laughing because it was so funny. But those were scary movies and they were good. And I think I started thinking about one of the scary movies when I was going to bed last night and I had to like snap myself out of it. Like I was like, girl, one of those movies was so fake. So fake. I don't know what it was called. They kept like, they died like 14 times or something. And then they kept having to like relive, re-die. I don't know. And they were like killing each other to like restart. And one of them was like growing bones out of his back. And her sister was a zombie. But they had a happy ending. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. And I don't know what the other one was. Oh, the other one was like this family like moved into a haunted house where people had died in it. But then apparently afterwards we read online that it was all an illusion. And she was just seeing all of the things. I don't know. That one spooked me. I was like actually screaming. But anyways, I don't know where I just went on a rant about that. But I've decided that I'm going to get into scary movies because I want to enjoy watching scary movies. Like I want to be so good at watching scary movies that I'm not scared anymore. I remember when I watched The Call, if you know what that movie is. It's really fucking scary. It's like this high schooler gets kidnapped and at the mall or something, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I literally watched it in 6th grade, and it still terrifies me, and I've watched it since, and every time I like get scared. And I think that's why I'm so terrified of certain things because of that. Another thing that we did this weekend was celebrated my mom's birthday. I love birthdays. I feel like you guys should know this about me. Birthdays are my fucking shit. Birthdays are my fucking shit. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hi. Oh. Do you just want their belly rubbed? Sometimes I wish I was a dog and that I could just like go up to people and smack them with my arm and be like, can I have a back massage? Like, I feel like that's what dogs do. Like, they just come rub their little paw on you and they want a little scratch. And I would like to be able to do that to humans. I feel like my sister honestly does that to humans. Like, she was demanding a back scratch all weekend. I don't think I gave her one once, but she was demanding one. Like a dog. But we celebrated my mom's birthday, and I thought this was so funny because my family is not like big on drinking. Like we'll have like a drink, maybe 2, but that would be a rare occasion. So like maybe 1 drink. And I wrote on the restaurant reservation, like it's my mom's birthday, thinking they would bring out like, you know, a free dessert, a free candle. I don't know, just like something. I feel like most restaurants have like a free dessert or they'll put like a candle on your dessert if it's someone's birthday. I don't know, but no. This restaurant said, fuck dessert. They said, fuck dessert, fuck all that. We're bringing shots and we're bringing sparklers. Which I don't know where they got the vibe that we looked like we wanted to take shots. Like we each got 1 margarita and queso and like fajitas. Like I don't know where the vibe of we want to take shots was coming from, but they they brought out shots and sparklers. So that was kind of fun, but it was just making me laugh the next day as I was pondering on it. So I was thinking back on that moment and I was like, wait, what the fuck? What kind of energy was she getting? Like, was she reading my mind? Like, that girl right there would want a shot, which is really weird because I don't know if I accidentally manifested that, because in my brain, when I was making the reservation, I did see that they had some flavored shots. And in my brain, when I was making it, like, I was like, ho, we should all take one of those flavored shots. Like, I should buy a round of flavored shots for us. Like, I thought that while I was making the reservation, but obviously wasn't gonna make my family take shots, considering we've never taken shots together. But I don't know if I manifested that or they read my brain. I'm not sure. But the lady brought out shots and sparklers. But luckily it wasn't anything like crazy. It was just a really good Jolly Rancher shot, which makes me think she read my brain even more. Even though that would be psychotic if someone just like brought a family tequila shots. But I don't know if I manifested that. Someone told me if that's manifestation, because I was like, what the fuck? I thought this, but I didn't know that would come to life. To end our amazing weekend, the last activity that we had planned was to go to the Navy Pier, which also, if you're ever coming to Chicago, I recommend going to the Navy Pier, checking it out, and doing the activities they have there, because it's just so much fun, and they have like the best shit. But they have a new thing. I feel like it opened maybe last year, and it's called the Flyover. And I might describe this terribly wrong, but it's basically like a ride, I guess. And I know they have it at Disney World, but it's basically a ride where you sit, obviously, you sit on the ride, and then it's kind of like virtual reality, but it's reality, but it's not reality. Why am I so bad at describing things sometimes? So you get on a ride, and then they lift you up so your feet are like hanging, and then they move you into like basically a ginormous screen that is so tall, so long, so wide. And the two things I guess that they had were, one was like going through the mountains, and then one was going through Chicago. And, you know, your feet are hanging. They have like, it turns like right, left, down, up, like it does all these movements. They even have like different scents that come out. They have like water splashes on you, all the things. And it literally feels like you're in the mountains or you're in the city or whatever you're going through. And if you live in Chicago or you're ever coming to Chicago, run as fast as you can to the Navy Pier and do the flyover thing, because I want to do it again. We did both versions of it. They had the mountain and then the going through Chicago, and we did both of them, and they were both so much fun. My family preferred the Chicago one and I preferred the mountain one. Both were like very different vibes, but the mountain one like made me emotional. I started crying, you guys. Like, I don't know why, but we got on it, and I knew I wanted to do the mountain one first because I, for some reason, have been like craving nature and craving mountains and like Washington. I've never been to Washington, and I've been like craving Washington and like a pine tree. I don't know. I've been craving it, and doing this virtual thing made me think of all of that. And then they had the scents, and it was making me more emotional, but it like literally felt like we were in the mountains. It was just so gorgeous, and I don't know why it made me emotional. Like, I was just on it, and then I started tearing up, and I was like, wow, the earth is just so beautiful, and I just can't believe I'm looking at this. Like, it feels so real. But it was perfect. And then the Chicago one was kind of more like thrilling and cool, and there was like a car part that I really liked, and you like felt like you were zooming through the city and on the buildings, so that was also super cool. And it was kind of cool because since we did the architecture tour, we like had learned about all of these buildings and stuff, and then on the virtual thing, like, it was going to these buildings that we just learned about, but like up close, and it felt like you were in the building. So it was kind of cool to like have just learned about these buildings, and now I'm doing this virtual thing, and it feels like I am the statue on top of this building, you know? So it was really cool. And if you are ever in Chicago, like run and do that. And also they had like if you buy the first one, you get the second one half off. So they run a deal so you can do both. But I kind of just wanted to recap my weekend with you guys because it was so much fun. And I feel like spending time with your family and just having a good weekend like this is so important in life. And yeah, it was just such a fun weekend and so many Chicago things. I love being a tourist in the city and like getting to do tourist things and getting to show people around. And we obviously got bagels at some point. Those were delicious. And yeah, I just love doing different activities like that. I have like a whole bucket list of things I need to do in Chicago because I feel like sometimes on the weekends, like I'm just so exhausted sometimes and then I don't do things or I just forget about places. So I have like an actual bucket list that I need to accomplish. Also, super off topic, but I found my bucket list from 2017. So I think I was like either 15 or 16 when I wrote this. And some of the things I had on there, like, I'm like, what the fuck did I think was happening when I was 17 years old? Like, some of them are just wild. But okay, the one that I thought was really funny, there's actually a couple that are so questionable, but one of them that I thought was funny from 2017. So I was like 15 or 16, and I wrote that I wanted to learn how to wakeboard. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? So, you know what? Wakeboarding was always in my heart, you know? If you listen to that episode where I talk about my wakeboarding story, like, apparently I had been wanting to learn. I also have on here that I wanted to make 50 new friends. I wanted to make 50 new friends in 2K17. What the fuck? That's a lot of people. You know, I clearly didn't know what that number meant. I don't know why I wanted 50 new friends. I probably made like 5 friends. But anyways, that was my weekend and I just wanted to share it with you guys, and I hope that you guys had a great weekend, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye.